want to share my Saint Rita chaplet. She's an Italian saint and she lived for 75 years. She's known as Saint of the Impossible. She was married to an abusive husband. He used to uh, abuse alcohol and be a womanizer. He would come home late at night and be mean to Rita and mistreat her and verbally abuse her, and he just a bad guy, and she kept praying for him, and he ended up converting. He changed and he begged Rita for forgiveness, and she forgave her, and he changed his way. However, along the path where he was hanging out with those other people, he made enemies, and one day they killed him, and Rita was left alone raising her two sons. Her two sons were thought to avenge the killing of their dad, so they were gonna take vengeance on those ones who did it. And Rita, knowing that this was a grave sin and they were gonna fall into a horrible sin, she prayed, asking God to prevent this from happening. At that time, the plague hit where Rita was living, and her two sons died of the plague. It prevented them from committing the grave sin of avenging their father's killing. So Rita was left alone, and she was a widow, and she had lost her two sons. She wanted to enter a monastery, and they refused her because she was of her, what she had gone through and all that. The nuns there thought it was too much for them. She wasn't supposed to be there. So after keep asking and asking, she was refused. So she went into a park, outside the monastery, and she fell asleep praying, and she was desperate and she didn't know what to do, and when she woke up in the morning, she was inside the monastery, and the only person that has the key is the Mother Superior, and she did not let Rita in, so it was considered a miracle. So they let her in, and on one of the stories I read was of her was in order to test her obedience, she was ordered to water a dry rose bush. It was dead, and she kept watering it, and it became alive again. It bloomed so beautiful. So how you pray the chaplet is it's a simple chaplet. And this is a chaplet right here. It's a beautiful chaplet, and how you pray it is you begin with that prayer, the Holy Saint Rita prayer, and after that you're gonna say 3 Our Fathers, 3 Hail Marys, and 3 Glory Bees on the beads, and that'll be it. And start and conclude with the sign of the cross. So that's the Saint Rita chaplet, and I consider her one of my soul sisters in heaven, and I ask her for prayers for me. I think she's a beautiful saint up in heaven. And God bless, and have a nice day.